Well, let's build a K.I.S.S clutch. Patterns printed, actual size, no need to modify or anything unless you're scaling up or down. Just go ahead and use your regular settings. Check that little box, the 2 centimeter box. Make sure that everything is lined up, measured correctly. Like I pointed there, the arrows on the pattern itself, just line your straight edge. Should cut end to end. Once you got all your pieces, go ahead and line them up like so. You'll notice in the middle there's a little dino. Make sure that's a whole dinosaur. That will tell you that the pattern is aligned correctly. And just put the puzzle together right there. As indicated, I like to print on sticky paper. Basically turns the pattern into a giant sticker. Tape it up where you need to. And cut that thing out. And I'm just lining the pieces up here on some, this is some very nice Italian veg tan. It is one of my favorites. That's a brief pile of all the tools that I used and then some. All your basics are of course listed in the pattern, but go ahead and punch out all the holes. I like Cinnabrox personally. I think they're pretty much the best of the best. Now you don't have to skive this, but I would strongly recommend it. I even went so far as to add optional little cutout tabs to the radius of that just to kind of help it go through. And that way you're not fighting as hard at the end when you go to do all your edge work and such. Edge bevel where you see fit. Cutting out the zipper here. If you've got I think it's a 3/8 punch, that will definitely get you close. And then just be real careful cutting this out. Now, as you'll see, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but yeah, go ahead and follow all the holes to cut out. Again, 5 millimeters. Get yourself a 1.2, 1.5 hole size. You're going to be right on the money there. The bigger you go, obviously size your thread up if you see fit. This size lends to the 0.8 thread very well. I wouldn't go much below that. It's going to look a little goofy. But that's just my recommendation. Once this pattern's yours, you make it whatever you want. This is just simply a little brief build along, about 10 minutes worth of me yakking, trying to explain the method to the madness here. Nice and neat. Now you'll see it's basically a giant sticker. Peel that thing off. Now what I'll show you here, I went ahead, took the liberty of lining mine. You do not have to, it just lends very well to it. But this is where that Tanner's Bond comes in real handy. If you're good with glue, glue it. Don't waste Tanner's Bond. But you're going to want to attach that zipper to some degree before repunching those holes. And I didn't show it, but I also went ahead and slicked up the edges and the radius inside that zipper hole just to make it nice and neat. Stitch the zipper in. This is going to be the first bit of stitching done here. And you'll notice there's some movie magic. I skip around a lot and speed things up. That's just not to bore you. I don't want you to have to sit here for an hour and a half and watch me build the whole thing piece by piece. You should get the general idea. And there I separated all the hardware and the tools and everything, just keep them handy. Let's go ahead and put our snaps in. These are line 20 snaps. I typically use line 24. I'm just trying to use up my line 20s out of my little bin there. But whatever you want to use. And you'll see I skived the edges clear up into that last stitch hole Again, it's not absolutely mandatory, but it makes assembling this, because at some point you're going to be going through 3 layers of leather, and if you start off with 5-ounce leather, you're going to have a fight on your hands by the time you put the gussets in. So I definitely recommend skiving down if you're good at it. Obviously, be careful. I use some Palo Santo French skiving tools. I think I used the number 12 there, which is the big boy. You'll see on this little gusset piece here, just doing a little pre-shaping, I went ahead and cut out the little triangles that go around the radius. That just helps for easy assembly. Depending on the thickness of your leather, you can make them larger, smaller, narrower, wider. Use good judgment here. Typically it's going to squash down and you're never going to know that there's been material removed there, because in the end it's going to be all nice and tight in that radius, and then you're going to slick the edges up. So no one's the wiser, but definitely helps big time. Here we're going into the final stitch run for the side, and this is where you're going to have to go through 3 layers. You'll see I pin these pieces together. You don't have to. It's just, if you've got these little stitch markers and whatever they're called, just very helpful to help you kind of visualize the piece and start kind of massaging things. It's veg tan. It's going to move for you. It's going to conform over time. Be patient. This is a little bit technical here as you're kind of fighting through those layers, making sure your pieces are all lined up. But you will get there, I promise. Again, use good judgment in how you fight through that. You can see I also stitched in the D-ring there. And I like to just hide those ends, right? Whatever the least likely of the end user looking at is where I hide the burn. And here it is all stitched up. I'm just kind of, see, I put the slicker in there, kind of pushed out the gusset a little bit, got it ready to trim up. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I have a Dremel in my possession, so I went ahead and I just I sanded everything down flush even together before I went ahead and used Tokonol. Strongly recommend the Tokonol. And this is your kind of final result. Take your time, be patient. Use a high grit sandpaper too. If you wanna, you can work your way up with the grits of sandpaper to get a really just a mirror finish edge, especially if you're using a good veg tan. Again, this is Pueblo leather from the Bottalossi Tannery in Italy. Absolute favorite of mine. You can see I stitched this wrist strap. You do not have to. This was for a special customer of mine, and kind of wanted it to be extra fancy for her before she got her hands on it. You can do that if you want to. Totally up to you. I didn't mark it or anything, but too easy to do if you got a wing divider or something. You can see I'm kind of fighting with it here. It's just a little tight on that the carabiner style clasp. Go ahead and trim anything if you need to, if you're using like a big clip or something, but it'll go together. Again, use good judgment. You'll end up with about a 6-inch wrist strap. It's good enough for anyone that has used it, and then of course myself, but pretty average size up or down as you see fit. That's what your one rivet is for. Stitch it if you don't have rivets. Just use good judgment. And we're just wrapping it up here. Put everything together, and there you go. K.I.S.S clutch all put together. Congratulations, we made it. Great little piece. There you go.